All right, guys, welcome back to the shack. And today we're going to be sitting here at the table because there's not a lot of work going on. Been getting a lot of requests about people that say, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. How do I go about it? What goes into it? What do I need to know? What do I not need to know? And first of all, guys, I've only started one YouTube channel. Well, actually, I guess I'm starting a second one, and we'll go over that in a minute. But I'm just going to share with you my experiences and how it happened to me. But it's hard for me to tell the story as well as Brandy can kind of tell the story. And so just to kind of let you have a third person perspective, I've convinced her to come in here and kind of walk you guys through it. I'm hoping she's going to be maybe not overly judgmental or overly critical about me. If she is, I'm sure somebody in editing can take care of that and clean that up. So. This is as risky as it is, guys. I'm going to turn it over to her on this part and let her kind of give you the origin story, so to speak. So, Brady,
Okay.
how did we start a YouTube channel? How did that happen?
Well, we didn't start a YouTube channel. You started a YouTube channel, and maybe by accident. A lot of it by accident. Some by coincidence, and grace of God, because that's all you. And I guess to know how you started the YouTube channel, you got to know you. You got to know you and all the different things that you know that kind of brought you to the point to where you could. Because I think a lot of people think that it's easy, that you can grab a camera and just start talking into it. But there's a lot of components that you need in order to do that. You need to know how to run cameras and computers and technology and all that stuff that I don't know. I know enough to get me through what I know, which is a lot of accounting and business. I know that, but so that's a huge part of it. I think another part of it is you have to know people, and you have to be a little bit of an oversharer, which is what I call him, and that might get edited. So if it does, look for this big long gap.
Come here.
But yeah, I've always said he's an oversharer, but that's just because I'm an undersharer. I don't share too much. He's the extrovert, I'm the introvert, and that's just kind of how it works. If we find you at a store, he's the one that's going to walk up and start the conversation. And he's going to be the reason you're in the store for 30 minutes longer than you had thought that you might be. That's
always.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. I wish I had more of that. But I'm the one that's going to say, hey, how are you? And I'm fine. And then move on. But he's going to ask about your moms and your cousins and what you've been doing. And I mean, the next thing you know, he's going to be in your wedding. I mean, that's just how he rolls. And so you have to be okay with that. You have to know what people are interested in. You have to take an interest in them and want to spend time with them. Other than that, you got to be passionate about what your channel is about. You need to, whatever it is that you're doing, that you're wanting to relay to people, you have to make sure that that is something that you're passionate about. Because if you're not, you're going to get bored with it, and that's going to show through. So
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of it. But everything you've done in your life has kind of just led you to that point.
Well, but the story I like to hear is when
I know what you want to hear. Okay.
when I first got the sawmill, and I'm gonna preface this for you guys. When I first got my sawmill, I was fired up about having a sawmill. I'd never had one, but having a background in working on things, I found out that you really need to have some mechanical abilities to have a sawmill. And by me having those mechanical abilities, being able to adjust things and tension things and just keep it running smooth, it made things a little easier for me. And so I joined some groups on Facebook, and there were people asking questions in there, and it was guys that had spent their savings to go buy a sawmill, and they were really struggling with trying to get it to cut right, and they were getting discouraged and angry because I spent all this money on a sawmill and I can't use it. And so I started trying to comment and tell people how to go about fixing the problems they were having, because I would, basically recreate it on my machine and then adjust it and make the machine work. And I won't ever forget the day, and this is kind of one of my YouTube moments, I guess. I was going out because it got to the point where you can only express so much in a text or a picture or whatever. So I decided, you know what, to help these guys out, I'm going to go get my camera. At the time, I had a GoPro that I used for my dog training and stuff. I'm going to go get a camera and a tripod. And I had a tripod that we had, I don't even know where we got the thing. It was old. And I'm like, I'm going to go up to the sawmill. I'm going to make a video, show these guys how to fix it so that they can fix their sawmill in this Facebook group. And Brandy catches me as I'm exiting the house with a GoPro attached to a 1960s tripod. And this is how it went. I'll let you tell the story.
Well, okay, so it's not unusual for him to be videoing, but to video his sawmill, it was kind of unusual. But I mean, he does unusual stuff, so I usually don't question. But I asked him, I said, what exactly are you doing with your camera at the sawmill? I mean, I thought you were going to hurt your camera, but he says, I'm doing a video and I'm going to upload it to YouTube and I'm going to show some folks how to work to fix a problem they've got. And I said, okay, well, go ahead. And he says, no, I think I might even start a YouTube channel because, it's kind of interesting. And then I can show more people how to do this. And so I just kind of rolled my eyes and said, okay, go ahead. And anyway, rock on maybe a year later, and he had a fully functioning YouTube channel that had been monetized at that point.
No, it was 6 or 8 months.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Yeah.
And that he had a fully functioning YouTube channel, which was monetized, and so I was very proud for him. But I had to kind of admit some wrongs, that maybe that's
so much,
not a complete waste of time.
For being the supportive wife.
I mean, I was supportive. I said, okay, great, have fun.
Yeah, but did you ever think that it would come to the point to where it would actually, there would actually be an income from it?
No, I didn't.
How did you see the story ending?
As all of your hobbies over the years have, with a deficit.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, you do have a lot of hobbies, and you stay busy, and you don't like to be in the house. It's not enough square footage for you. He's outdoorsy, and he likes to be outside doing something. Even if he has to make up that something to do, he'll be outside doing it.
Yeah.
And so
I don't think that's a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing.
I mean, I will say that for the most part, because of my disorder and because of my focusedness, we don't really have anything around the house that stays broke for very long. And so I think that persistence has been to your benefit.
No, that's true. I mean, there's not anything that if I say I need this fixed or that fixed, he's on it. And so, and if he has the proper tools, it's done in that day. Which I hear a lot. You have to have the proper tools in order to to fix.
I mean, any job you come up with, there's going to be a tool needed.
Exactly.
For that. That's how you get the new tools.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's so guys. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you're starting out and you don't even have a channel and you're wanting to start a YouTube channel purposely, that's not really something I'm experienced with, other than the new channel that we've come out with.
I don't know that I'd say that. Now, I think you did do a lot of research.
I did. Once I saw that it actually might work, I did go head first into it.
Once you saw that it could actually be profitable and help you support your hobbies,
well,
you did a lot of research, and you still do a lot of research.
Oh yeah, I do that.
He will zone in and just mono focus on one thing that piques his interest, and there's no distracting from that.
Well, and that's a trait that many of you may or may not know, but I do suffer from a bit of a hyperactivity disorder, and to the point to where I joke with Brandy and other people that I'm kind of like a shark. I can't quit moving. I think a lot of that helps to drive me, because I do. Once I got the YouTube channel, I think once the Facebook group kind of drove some views to my channel, I got to thinking, okay, this it could work. You know, I mean, it actually looks like people enjoy watching the content. And so it was a short time after that we ran into May May. Met her in town. Didn't even know who she was.
She was on a committee with you.
Yeah, and because of my job with the police department, we were planning an event, and I got introduced to May May. And I will say that I think that's the point when I actually said, okay, now I want to start a YouTube channel. I think that's when I actually went from.
I think that's when you
went from
when
it
you
was
kind of
it was
learned about.
Yeah, it was a
Because at first
hobby.
you were using it as a hobby and kind of a teaching tool.
Yeah.
And then May May's channel, I think you got to looking at it and saying, well, maybe I could make some money with it.
Yeah.
At least some hobby money.
Yeah, because I think that's when it went from I'm just doing this because I'm having fun and I enjoy helping people.
She was really encouraging.
Yeah, yeah, because I won't ever forget, because May May was like, how many people in this group use YouTube or have a YouTube channel? And so I raised my hand, even though I was like, I have one, but I don't have one, you know what I mean? And so after the meeting or whatever, she talked to me and she's like, you can, if you have the personality for it, because not everybody does. Just like Brandy said, not everybody wants to be on camera. My kids don't really enjoy it. Brandy's warming up to it, She's not afraid of public speaking, but just talking to a camera, putting yourself out there on a worldwide audience, it's different.
I'm not an oversharer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going and talking to a class of sixth graders is one thing, but putting content out there for all the people in the world, because there are going to be some crazies out there. Was it last week? Had a guy telling me whoever did my makeup needed to learn how to do it because I had smoky eyes. I didn't even know what smoky eyes were. Brandy told me, and guys, this is not smoky eyes. This is old, overworked, bags under your eyes,
but
tiredness.
Thanks to that guy, because, we've had fun with that. That's
yes, the family's had fun with it. But accused me of wearing makeup, wanting to know who did my makeup. And
That's
I'm
just
like,
natural beauty.
I don't know if maybe he meant I was just so attractive that there's no way that's natural. Maybe that's what he meant.
Maybe. You are pretty.
But luckily, all the years I've been in law enforcement and doing what I do, I'm kind of thick-skinned. I really don't care. And my personality, too, is not one that lends me to be easily intimidated or hurt. So, whatever. And that's one thing that if you're going to start a YouTube channel, you need to understand is there are people out there that their sole purpose in life when they get up every morning is to heckler you or to troll your channel, make comments and stuff. And I know a lot of people say kill them with kindness. My approach is a little different. I have fun. I laugh at them. I do in the back of my mind and in my heart, I say a little prayer for them, because I'm like, if this person's life is so miserable that all they can think of to do or say is to try to be negative about something that they could easily just close it and go to the next video, they need prayer. They need help.
Yes, but for the first minute, we're like, do you have some?
It's funny. It is funny. It's
funny.
jokes for days.
Yeah.
But you're going to have that. And so if you can't deal with that,
thick-skinned.
if you can't deal with that, then doing a YouTube channel is going to be really, really tough. The one thing that, like I said, when I met May May and I started getting serious about it, the one thing that I did, I started researching and watching these, how to be a YouTuber, how to start your YouTube channel in 90 days. And I watched all those videos to see if I was doing it right. And it didn't take me long to realize after watching a lot of those videos that guy's not me. I don't want to act like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be overly animated. I don't want to be overly serious. I don't want it to look like we're at a nightclub in here. That's when I discovered I want to do my thing this way. And if it works, it works. If it don't, so be it. But if I'm going to put my name on it, if it's going to represent me, I don't want to have to put on a show when I'm in public and act like something I'm not. And so a lot of you guys, asked about editing. Who does your editing? This, that, and the other. I do my editing.
He does all of it.
I do everything. I have no employees. This is the closest thing to an employee I have.
And I do a little bit of gluing. I do a little bit of helping with the business management when he needs it, if he needs it. And I might
you know how to frame and hit start. You know how to hit frame and start.
Well, there was that one time that didn't work out.
Yeah, she was going to help me out one day and burn a stove cover for me and didn't home the machine, and it was way off.
Nobody said to home the machine.
It was way off. So you could have watched the video. There's videos I have, videos of that. But she didn't home the machine, and so when she sent the burn,
about this far too low.
Yeah, I was so proud that my wife had just worked the laser by herself. Like, she launched Lightburn, opened the file,
put the board in
everything.
Everything.
But she didn't home the machine, and so when I walked over to get it off after it had completed, it was like over maybe 3 inches and up 3 inches, and it was nowhere near the center.
Yeah.
And I tried not to be angry or anything, because that was about, what, $25 worth of material probably.
He was fine.
And
I did get a lesson on how to home the machine though. So
yeah, I just set it over to the side, and I was like, thanks for your help, but I've got it from here. I'm going to take over from here. She's like, what, did I do something wrong?
I'll go back to gluing. So I took my glue brush and I came back over and started gluing.
Yeah, but one of the things that I will say with a YouTube channel, and I've got friends, you know, my buddy Bill over at Milk Money Mini Farms, and Klein is wanting to do YouTube eventually at Klein's Engraving, and I'll go ahead and plug for those guys. They're my buddies. They're kind of my shop talk guys that I talk to when I want to talk shop.
When he needs real help, that's who he calls.
Or if I need help picking up something up over my head on a ladder, they're the guys that come help me. So if I were giving them advice, I'm going to give you the same advice I would give them. And one is, until you're ready to commit to the time that it takes to do it, because it is a lot of work. It doesn't seem like it. You don't see everything goes into it. It is a lot of work. It is taxing sometimes. Don't start it if you're not willing to fully commit. You agree? I mean, it takes a lot.
It does take a lot of time.
So,
but I mean, it depends on what someone's wanting. If they're not wanting, you know, to grow it as fast as yours, then. But I mean, it depends on if they're just wanting to do it as a hobby, kind of like you started as a hobby.
Yeah.
You just started to do it as a
spiraled.
hobby, and you know, then when you decided, hey, this could be profitable. When May said that could be profitable for you, you're like,
yeah. When May said, hey, I run a business, and that's how it started, was a YouTube channel, I was like, wait a minute. I'm close to retirement.
Of course, I didn't think it was going to be profitable.
Yeah, she did. She did not think it was going to be profitable. I think she fully expected me to waste a bunch of money, you know. But the one thing that kept me out of hot water was I was making enough with my woodworking that I could buy a camera to do videos with. I could buy microphones to do videos with, and so I started investing, because one, audio is the most important thing, and secondly, video is the second most important thing. And then other people will tell you that, you know, editing is important, and you gotta like change the frame every 45 seconds or this, that, and the other. And although I think that's true for some personality types, because the more as I get older, I learn that young eyes and old eyes don't act the same. There's a preference, and you need to know first, what is your demographic? Are your guys older guys that really don't care for everything to be shifting and constantly moving and zooming in and out? Or are your guys like me, that every time you move that camera, now my eyes are trying to refocus and I can't pay attention to what you're saying? And so I think you have to just know your audience. Who's going to be watching those videos? Is it younger people? Is it older people? Is it people that like this or people that like that? And so part of what I do is I try to make videos that I think people that are into this kind of thing would like and could stand to watch. And I know what's the biggest thing that I get trolled on?
Trolled on?
Yeah, like my comments.
That it's a green screen?
No. The biggest one, the most often, is I talk too much.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and that doesn't really bother him, because he's been told that his entire life. And so it's kind of the running joke where he works, is that, you know, Clack will talk your ear off. I mean, that's... So... And everywhere he's worked, not just where he's working currently, everywhere, like everybody knows that. But that's okay. I mean, just sit through the story and you'll learn something, I promise.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. I mean, human beings learn through a lot of different senses. And that just happens to be the one that I love to share with people. And I do talk. I do talk a lot.
And so the lunch bunch, when we're at work and we're having lunch, because we work across the street from each other. We're different jobs, different everything, but we are across the street in proximity. So we'll eat lunch together, and so he'll start talking about one subject or another, and so the rest of us will go, yeah, because we know it's going somewhere.
Hey, that's y'all's loss. Y'all ain't paying attention.
If
y'all
we're not,
gonna miss something.
We're gonna miss something. That is our loss. But the rest of us kind of squirrel a little bit. And, or maybe we just, I don't know, don't want to learn that fact.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's our loss.
But
It really is.
another thing as far as getting a YouTube off the ground, if you're trying to start one thing that I will tell you, and like I said, I do a little bit of research. I'm not the greatest. I'm not the YouTube guru by any means. I'm a dude in his shop doing what he enjoys, sharing it with other people. And I have been able to build a pretty decent following, considering I only got serious about YouTube a little over 2 years ago, and here we are at 30,000 plus subscribers, which I never thought would happen. I figured I would maybe get to 2,000, and that would just that would be it. When people mention the algorithm, and I watch a lot of the YouTube University stuff because they have their own little creator content videos. Think of the algorithm. It's not really an algorithm. It's your audience. YouTube, the algorithm basically is based upon the actions of the audience that chooses your video or doesn't choose your video. So it looks at such things as, are they clicking on the thumbnails? And if they click on the thumbnails, how long are they staying in the video? And if they stay in the video for X amount of time, do they come back or do they not come back? So the algorithm, more or less, you need to pretend that the algorithm is the people that you expect to watch your videos or that you think are going to watch your videos, and try to make those videos for those people. Don't try to make them for the Mr. Beast fans or the other channel that does these things. Don't try to make them for those fans, because that's a whole nother audience. You have to be based, and you have to have your videos based on your audience. Me personally, I think my audience doesn't want a whole lot of shenanigans. They don't want a whole lot of like theatrics and over exertive emotional stuff.
Guy in a shop building things.
Yeah. Now,
Simple. And I mean, it's a shack, so that makes it kind of cool. It's not a green screen, y'all. This is not a green screen. It is a shack.
I have a green
in our
screen,
backyard, which,
but I don't ever use it.
But yeah, no, it's actually his shop, and
But I think a lot of guys.
It's not huge. It's not huge.
Oh no, it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near big enough. We're gonna get a bigger one though.
Are we?
But
We'll see. That'll be part 2. That'll be video 2.0. Did David get his big shop? We'll call it.
Yeah, but you have to take into consideration. Like I said, that's who you're trying to get to watch those videos. So make videos that they want to watch. And I think my guys want honest, like down to earth. And this is from comments and this is from emails. And feel free at this point, if you're still here, drop a content. Seriously, Kat. Drop a comment down below, and let's don't be showing everybody your butt. Feel free to drop a comment down below and let me know, what is it? I mean, help with my research. Is it fluffy? Seriously, Kat? So some of the things that with me in my channel, I try to make sure that I'm honest, I'm open. I don't work for anybody but me. I don't work for the companies. I don't work for YouTube. It's for me. For what I put out, the content that I put out is something that I feel like is relevant. That would be my thing, is be who you are, because if you're having to keep up an act to keep a channel, it's going to make it a little more difficult. Just focus on doing the things that you enjoy. And when you enjoy what you're doing, other people are going to see that. And if they're people that are like you, that are into the same things, they're going to watch the content. As long as you're not just like just a total, overly boring person, which, some people enjoy that. I know people that have channels that don't say a word and people watch their videos, but it's a different audience. And I'd have a hard time with that channel. I couldn't make a video, I don't think, and not talk.
No, you could have been a teacher, I think.
Yeah.
I think you could have been a shop teacher.
Yeah, that actually would have been a pretty good career if I'd went into it. Mm-hmm. But my problem was, first of all, I wasn't educated enough to be a teacher. So, not that I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't educated enough. I didn't have the certificate from that. But when you're getting started, guys, one thing that is very important is, with the channel are going to come the companies, and that's something I get asked about a lot, with the equipment and people wanting to send you equipment and so forth. And my thing with equipment has always been, I will try it, I will test it out. I mean, let's face it, who wouldn't? I mean, if you tell me, oh, I don't like getting free lasers and you know, it's a hassle. And okay, it is a hassle. I mean, a lot of these machines, Brandy can tell you, it's a lot of work doing all the testing and everything. But I enjoy that part of it. I enjoy, okay, what can this thing do? Is it really as good as they say it is? Can it do this? Can it do that? But the one thing that I will say is never compromise your integrity and the integrity of your channel because of a company. It's better to just make them mad at you and move on and keep your audience than it is to try to cater to them and alienate or, you know, distort the truth to your audience.
Yeah, and my thought on that too is that there are a lot of people out there looking to buy things, and that's a lot of the reasons why they're going to YouTube and different sources. And so it's good to have their advertisements are great, but their advertisements are just that, they're advertisements. And so, you know, it's good to have an independent someone that is willing to look at them. So it is a lot of work for him a lot of times. And sometimes it's not something that necessarily he wanted, but it's something that maybe, you know, some people have been asking him about or they're considering. And so, I mean, so sometimes he does kind of look into them for those.
Well, and that's just like I had quit for a while. I had quit reviewing 10-watt machines or 5-watt machines. And the reason is because I know I'm not going to keep that necessarily. And that's why, like recently we did the video where I gave away the 5-watt machine. But the reason I did that video was because I get a lot of comments on some of my older content with some of the smaller lasers. People are still watching those videos. They're still looking at buying those 10 watts.
Well, everybody's got to start somewhere. So if that's what you're looking at and that's what you're comfortable with and that's what, you know, you need to do the research on, then it helps to have that independent.
Yeah, and I think it would be an injustice to what got me started in YouTube was people being able to say, hey, can this machine do that? Or hey, can this machine do that? If I limit myself to only doing, you know, reviews on machines that cost $2,000, I'm going to lose a big portion of the people that helped to get me to where I am because they're like, I can't afford this machine. I'm just getting started out. I can't drop that kind of money.
Because your first machine wasn't $2,000.
No, it was $800. And I bought just the machine and then bought the rest of the parts.
That's a lot to you, and that's a lot to a lot of people.
It's still a lot to me.
I mean, that's still a lot.
That's still a lot to me. So, you know, you got to be true to your audience, and I see a lot of channels, and I've seen some recently that you know, growth is good, but you gotta. And here comes another cat. Growth is good, but you come here, you can sit with me. Come here, you wild thing. But growth is good, but you've got to understand too that, you know, your audience. Even though, you know, you guys might not be looking at buying a new machine, you may be curious as to what's this new 10-watt machine, what can it do? Because even though you have a 30 or a 40-watt machine, you may be in a situation where you want to get a 10-watt machine to use in your shop. And so I don't limit myself when it comes to that. Now, I try to avoid non-related stuff, you know, as much as possible. But, you know, it's just one of those things that with the exposure that the channel gets, thanks to you guys, companies are going to want me to try their equipment, and I'm thankful for that. And I mean, I'm
thankful. I'm probably more thankful for that because it keeps him from buying a lot of equipment. He always has something he can play with and tinker with, and so that's good.
Yeah, because I do like trying them out. And when you guys are asking me, hey, what about this machine? What about this machine? How good is it? It really irritates me not to be able to answer that. And so just like with the F1 Ultra, everybody was like, hey, how is the F1 Ultra? And I hate to tell people, I don't know, because I didn't have one. And I had actually considered buying one just to be able to tell everybody, you know, what I thought about it. But that's not business-wise, that's not a smart decision.
You'd go broke in a hurry.
Because I would go broke trying to keep up with you guys. So luckily for me, the companies do reach out, and they do want me to check their machines. Even though I wasn't the first one to get one, at least now you guys can kind of look back at the content and see. But if you want to know about the gear and all the things that I use in the channel, we'll try to cover that too. But let me know if that's something you're interested in. Like I said, drop a comment down below. Let me know, what is it that kept you watching this video this long? What is it that you like about the channel? What am I doing right? If you want to tell me what I'm doing wrong, you can tell me. Now, I'm probably not going to listen to a whole lot of the wrong stuff because, like I said, I am who I am, and I'm not going to pretend I'm somebody else to you guys because then when you meet me in person, you're going to be like, who's this guy? So.
Yeah. No, he is absolutely exactly who he is on video. That is exactly who he is, and wherever you meet him at, that's what you're gonna get. So,
But yeah, but that's the basics of the mindset and the thought that I think you need to have going into it, unless I missed something.
One thing, and I was gonna point this out just a second ago, but maybe always, because you're always looking to improve. If you're watching your videos and you're rewatching them and you're like, you know what, that sound is terrible, that video is terrible, and so you're always looking at ways you can make it better.
Yeah.
Including your shop, you're always rearranging it. So
always doing something new.
Yeah, looking for a way to make it better, more organized.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think that lends itself to, you just I want a decent content. Like I said, I know that me personally, I can't do anything about me. For those that maybe I talk too much, or I'm too fat, or my eyes are too black, or I got bad teeth.
Well, if they were needing to know the end of the lecture you're giving them, then it wouldn't be talking too much. It'd be just enough. They'd learn something. So
yeah.
They just got to hang in there.
That's right. But I do try to upgrade equipment and gear to where you guys aren't going blind trying to watch the videos. Most smartphones these days can do the job, and like I said, I'll do a tech video on that, because Brandy really doesn't want to sit through a tech video.
I don't want to sit
and
through
this
that.
This has been long enough. But a lot of people ask me about how I got started and how I became a YouTuber, which I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm a guy in a shop that shares stuff. I mean, I don't know that I would.
And it's uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah.
That makes you a YouTuber.
But then again, like I said, I don't like putting people in boxes. That's my thing. It's just because I'm on YouTube, I don't want to be considered a YouTuber. I'm a maker. I'm a redneck. I'm creative. I'm a husband. I'm a lot of things. But that's a box that I don't know that I fit in, because I don't fit with a lot of other people. But anyway, Brandy and I also, before you go, have started a new channel that hopefully Brandy can get a little more involved in. I'll probably be doing the editing, most of it still, because I don't know that she knows how to operate editing software yet. But she is going to hopefully.
I can, but I'm really slow.
Yeah, she's going to hopefully help me get this other channel off the ground. It's going to be more of us and less shop. More of the outdoorsy family stuff, what happens around the house, just general life stuff. And so if you have questions about that, or you got a video that you want to see about that, go over and check out the channel. It's the Clackleys. I know, it's original. It didn't take a whole lot of thought. But I'll drop a link down below for that. And I would appreciate it if, in the spirit of starting YouTube channels, you'd go over and subscribe to that one, because it is a baby. It is an infant. We're trying to grow it up, but I'm trying to move some of my non-shop related content over to that, and then have the shop channel, the Clack Shack, focus more on just what happens out here. So go check that out. And are you going to be doing any videos?
I'll probably do some videos. I won't be engraving stove covers, obviously, because that didn't work out. But I mean, I can show y'all. Tell me what you want to see on there. I can show you kind of what I do around here. But
go over to the channel.
Be as interesting as you and your shack.
Hey, I can do a lot in editing.
You're funny.
Go over to that channel and hit the subscribe button, guys, and drop a comment and let Brandy know what you want to see. What is it that you want to see on the channel? So, but for now, that's going to be it. It's calling it a wrap. And till next time, be safe and have a good day.